Are you struggling to keep up with content for all your different platforms? Well, what if I told you that there is a way that you can create powerful, sales-driven content for all of your different platforms, including YouTube, social media, and emails, in just 3 hours a week? Hi, I'm Chanté, and I've been working in the content marketing industry for over 5 years now, and I've created hundreds of pieces of content for clients across various niches. And so in today's video, I want to share my proven 4-step formula that you can follow to batch create your YouTube, social media, and email content in just 3 hours a week. That way you can have powerful content that generates leads and sales without burnout. So if that sounds good, then let's jump right into it. So the first step that I usually follow is to create my core piece of content. Now, what do I mean by core piece of content? So this is any piece of content that is long form and that has a lot of substance to it. So you can think of this as your blog posts, your podcast episodes, your YouTube videos, your Instagram live streams, or anything that is meaty and that you can use to repurpose into smaller pieces of content later on. Now, personally for me, I use YouTube because, as we all know, in the age of AI, it is becoming increasingly difficult to build trust with our customers. And so where video stands out above all of the other types of content is it showcases you on camera. And that makes it so much easier to build trust with your audience and to, stand out above your competition as well, because let's face it, not everyone wants to do YouTube, and so if you do it, you are automatically standing out above them. Plus, video also has more repurposing opportunities because you could take clips of your YouTube video, you could repurpose it into written content, into audio. The sky is the limit when you use video. So I typically take around 2 hours per week to create my YouTube video. And so what that typically looks like for me is, first and foremost, I go ahead and I script my video. It takes me about half an hour to script my video because I do use ChatGPT to assist me in writing the script. But note that I say only assist. I will use ChatGPT to help me come up with the basic structure of my video with some ideas and research. And then I will go ahead and I'll add my own unique perspectives, my frameworks, my own stories, anything that makes that video unique to me. I'll go and add that afterwards. Then I go ahead and I record my video. Now that takes me about 30 minutes to do as well. And so a bonus tip for you, you could even cut down that time more if you batch create your videos. So you create multiple videos at one time, then that number comes down even more and it takes less than half an hour. After I've recorded the video, I'll go ahead and I edit my video in about another hour. And the reason I get to edit my video so fast is I use a tool called Descript, and it's a text-based video editor. So it makes your video editing process so much faster and easier, and I highly recommend it. And finally, I just go ahead and schedule my video. That takes about 10 minutes. Now this YouTube video then becomes my content trunk. So I like to think of it as your content tree, right? So your entire content ecosystem will be a tree. So your YouTube video or your long form piece of content forms the trunk of your tree. And from there, you'll be able to create smaller pieces of content, which can then be the branches. Which brings me to the second step, and that is that I use AI and smart repurposing for my short form platforms. Now, after I have my YouTube video, I will then take the transcript of that video and I will go ahead and use ChatGPT again. I've developed many different prompts that I use to do this. So I'll go and paste that transcript into ChatGPT and I'll ask it to help me come up with different content pieces for my Instagram. This includes Instagram carousels, Instagram reels, Instagram stories, you name it. And you could even do it for different platforms like Facebook or TikTok as well. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned that if you do it this way, then you're just going to be copying and pasting your YouTube video content onto other platforms, but that is not the case at all. Instead, what I do is I give the content different angles. So there are 8 different content angles that I primarily use. First, mistakes and myths. Second, hot topics and trending topics. Third, belief shifting. 5th, personal stories and behind the scenes. 6th, objections. 7th, social proof. And 8th, sales. So those are the different angles that you can use for your content. Now, to show you an example of how this could actually look, let's say, for example, I create a YouTube video about how I lost 20 pounds on a paleo diet without starving myself. Now, in this case, you can see that this long form video is a tips-based video, right? Because I'm sharing the how-to. And then it can also be a bit of behind the scenes because I'm sharing my experience. Now, technically, what I could do is I could then take this video and share one of the tips in an Instagram carousel post and just, expand on that tip throughout the carousel, make it more meaty, and voila, there I have my post. But then I could also shift the angle. So let's say, for example, I use the myths and mistake angle. I could go ahead and create an Instagram reel that talks about top paleo diet mistakes everyone makes that causes them to fail, right? So this is a completely different vibe. It talks about the mistakes, whereas the video talked about what you should do. This reel now talks about what you shouldn't do, so you can just reverse it backwards. Or I could even go ahead and create a belief shifting story where I talk about you don't need to eat 100% clean to see results on paleo. Again, this is a completely different angle. It makes this post almost look brand new and no one is even gonna know that it was repurposed from that original YouTube video. Now, if you want to dive deeper into how these angles work and how you can use them in your own content strategy, I have created a 1 to 10 repurposing guide that you can download for free in the description. And so this guide literally shows you the step-by-step process that you can follow to repurpose your long-form piece of content into 10 or more posts. This brings me to the next step, which is that I add the graphics. Now, once I have my scripts ready for my reels, my captions, my carousel text, everything ready, I then go ahead and add the actual graphics. Now, I personally like to use Canva templates, especially for my stories as well as my carousels, because Canva is super easy and you can create a post in about 5 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll have my template ready. From there, I'll copy and paste the text from ChatGPT, but remember, I already added my additional perspectives and values in there. And from there, this post is ready to go. As for the reels, so you could do this in 2 different ways. So let's say now, for example, you have a YouTube video. You could then go ahead and use ChatGPT to help you come up with a basic script for a 60-second reel. Or alternatively, what you can do is you can take your YouTube video and you can use a tool like Video or Opus Clip, or in my case, I use Descript. Then I cut a portion of that video out, which I can then post as a reel on my Instagram. So that makes it even quicker. And the 4th step that I follow is to write my emails using my YouTube video. So what I'll do after I've done my social posts and everything like that, then I'll go ahead and I'll use my transcript once more. I'll paste it into ChatGPT and I use very specific scripts or prompts rather to get ChatGPT to give me really powerful emails. Now, personally, I do believe that storytelling is the best way to connect with people nowadays. And so you need to try to use the art of story selling in your emails, where you tell stories, you use metaphors to connect to people in your emails. But the great thing about having a YouTube video that you can use as your core content piece and repurpose it into emails is that you already did that video in your own tone of voice, your personality, the way that you speak. And so that makes it a lot easier for ChatGPT to actually turn that video into emails for you that are in line with how you speak and how you connect with your audience. If you follow this repurposing approach, you could realistically be turning one YouTube video into 10, 20, 30 pieces of content easily. And that actually brings me to a bonus tip that I want to give you, and that is that you can take your YouTube video and turn it into multiple other pieces of content as well. I have turned YouTube videos into blog posts that got hundreds of leads for my client. In fact, my client Lisa, when we did her YouTube videos, she took one of her YouTube videos and we repurposed it into a blog post, which we then also posted to Medium. And that then brought in hundreds of leads for her. So the sky truly is the limit when it comes to using YouTube videos to repurpose it into other content pieces. So if you want to save hours every week on your content creation, then be sure to download the free 1 to 10 repurposing guide. It is linked in the description, and this is going to save you so much time and energy. You can thank me later. Also, now that you know of all the amazing benefits that YouTube offers your business, if you are interested in starting a YouTube channel for yourself, but you have no idea what equipment you need, I have created a separate video about it right over here that you can watch next. And so in there, I show you exactly the equipment and the tools that I am currently using and that you can use as well. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.